Hello, it says I'm live. Is it true? Am I live? I'll give you guys a second to get here since I gave zero lead time making the announcement that I was going to go live. And it's a very different time frame than what I had said last night when I was trying to predict what time I might go live today. So I was trying to do it a lot earlier. It is after 4:30 and it's Tuesday, the 10th of June. And I only have like, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes. It's going to be a quick one. So if you're here and you can hear me, hello, Sherry, what's going on? Can you hear me? I'm not really feeling any better, or maybe I am. It goes up and down. So, like, maybe when I'm talking on camera, it's a good distraction. Let me drink a little bit of water. That's one thing that I've noticed and the doctor said is like make sure you drink your water all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I have to have it in my hand. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. So I came on, even though I only have a few minutes, because I have some things that I really want to share or unload or whatever. I feel a pressing need to discuss. So, how are you today, my dear? And I'll just run through my regular things. Where'd the thumb go? I had it a minute ago because I was trying to make sure I didn't get it broken by dropping it. Please hit your like button and make sure you're still subscribed. Share a video of mine with somebody that you think might like it and turn on your notification bell to ring. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All my videos are made for YouTube and it's an entertainment platform. Good eating, some macaroni salad. Yeah, I had some yogurt with pecan chips and little tiny pieces of that cinnamon biscotti that's so good. So, and I've been drinking a lot of mint tea and lemon tea because those things are supposed to be good. So, the concerns that I have are primarily around our leadership in this country and this colossal distraction that I believe he's trying to create in Southern California to get people to not talk about and look at his connection to Jeffrey Epstein. So, a few weeks ago, I had decided that I was going to focus more on Epstein's victims because I don't like to focus on the perps. I like to focus on the victims and their stories. There is a channel, Kirby Summers, I think, and forgive me, my brain is not so sharp with the not feeling well. Kirby Summers, she just dropped a video today. She's wonderful. She's one of his victims, and she's kind of on the same wavelength I am. So I'm going to put a link to that video in the description. But another thing that I wanted to make mention of, because I think I was thinking it yesterday, but forgot to put it in the video, is that Trumpster Fire making these statements about how these insurrectionists in Los Angeles they're paid insurrectionists. In my opinion, he just outed himself that those insurrectionists on January 6th of 2021, that not only were they paid, but they were also promised pardons in the event that they got arrested. So that's why he had to pardon them on day one, in my opinion. And he's also planning on paying them, what do you call it? Reparations. He's planning on paying them reparations, which would make sense if he had hired them to begin with. And then I'm sure that there were a few there that didn't realize that other people were getting paid, so they just stupidly ended up volunteering themselves for the insanity. but probably part of getting paid was signing an NDA, right? That usually is, especially with him. Jessica Denson, who was one of his aides in his first presidential run, and then she's since sued him and started her own channel. She says that he has everybody sign illegal non-disclosure agreements, everybody that works for him. So if you're a paid insurrectionist for him, you'd be working for him. And yeah, these people are constantly projecting and confessing to their crimes. It's crazy, isn't it? So let's see. We know that Ghislaine Maxwell's father, that he owned a big newspaper. I say newspaper loosely. I think it was more like the National Enquirer of Europe. Um, and so, yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Was it The Sun? Anyway, it's interesting because there's another heir to newspaper monies. This person's name is Rachel Chandler. I don't think I've heard her name before, but she is the heiress of the Los Angeles Times fortune. She also married into the Guinness family, and she allegedly is involved with Puffy, Jeffrey, and many of the rest of them in what Kirby calls human transportation. I love that. I love that. Like, what a great code word to not trigger the bots, right? So another thing that domestic violence perps, or just perps in general, do is they try to entice their victims by saying, come to me, trust me, you need my protection. But really, you do need protection, but it's from them that you need the protection from. It's weird because Hegseth and Trumpster Fire keep talking about how they want to protect the population, and specifically in the situation in Los Angeles, by calling in the troops, by calling in the National Guard, and then calling in the Marines. And clearly they're trying to escalate. I did not realize that the Marines, I think both the Marines and the National Guard, that it's a 60-day stay, and they don't have accommodations for them to like eat and sleep and even water. To use Hegseth's term, yeah, what did he say? This is funny, not funny. Um, he said being watered, like watering them. Here, the Marines, he denies that they are not housed or fed or watered, as if they're plants or something. Yeah, you got to water your Marines, you douchebag. 60 days. So certainly within 60 days, they'll be able to incite a riot, especially with their paid insurrectionists, because I believe that they're going to be paying people to instigate. It's dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. It's absurd. So what was it that they asked Hegseth about? They asked him in a Senate hearing, I think this morning, what exactly was it that prompted the Marines necessary to be called in? And he literally answered with, I don't know. I'll try to find a link to that so you can see that I do know what I'm talking about, even though I'm loopy. I was taking notes and I was watching videos. So yeah, it was a Senate hearing. I think it was this morning. So when asked why the Marines were deployed, he was extremely defensive, but the first thing that came out of his mouth was, I don't know, but blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then he said, this was interesting, confessed without meaning to. He said that basically that they're there to protect if it gets out of control, after trying to state that it already was out of control and that they needed to be there. These people with that MAGA side are very oppositional defiant, are they not? One sec. Well, that's terrible that the army or whatever is not taking care of the troops. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the troops are being used and abused. Hey, Patricia blah, 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 Patricia Moss. I can read and speak and all that stuff. Listening while landscaping. Very cool. I love landscaping. That is the bomb. Thanks for saying hi and letting me know. So I'm trying to make a really quick video before I have my doctor's appointment and hopefully get some more tips on how to feel better. So, oh goodness. Okay, this is crazy. This is like the real reason I came on. I'm just so looped that I forget everything. You know, the Australian reporter that was shot with the rubber bullets, right? I wrote down her name and everything. Where is her name? Because I haven't had a chance to look her up yet, but I found so much amazing information. Oh, crap. Is it Lauren Tomasi? I think it is. I think it's Lauren Tomasi. And so the Prime Minister of Australia is hoping to meet with Trump at the summit in a few days. I think the summit is in Canada. But in the meantime, Trump's troops are shooting the Australian reporters, or Australian reporter, I'll try to be specific, in the back of the leg. So this same thing happened in 2020. July 1st? No, June 1st. It was June 1st, 6/1 of 20 in Washington, D.C. at Lafayette Square. An Australian reporter and cameraman were attacked by the troops. The reporter's name is Amelia Bryce, I think, if I can read my writing. The cameraman's name is Tim Myers, and I will put a link to the article that I read in the description here. They were attacked. They were both hit by rubber bullets in the back side while they were trying to flee. Excessive use of force was deemed in 2023. So it took 3 years for that to move through the system. Amelia, I think it's Brace. I think it's Brace. Amelia, the reporter, was shot with the rubber bullets and she was beaten. And then Tim Myers, the cameraman, was shot with the rubber bullets, punched and struck in the face. Oh, and Amelia got hit with a truncheon, which I haven't even had a chance to look that up yet. So why don't I grab my phone? It'll help my brain work, hopefully, and find out what a freaking truncheon is. I can imagine. I could have asked my husband. He would probably know. I'll talk to him about it and see how often these things are used, because I've never heard of one. I mean, maybe it's just like the baton or something. A short, thick stick carried as a weapon by a police officer. Truncheon, Truncheon. So, yeah, Amelia was also hit with one of those when she was attacked. So they were both assaulted. And the reason why they were being run off and attacked was because they were trying to clear Lafayette Square because Trumpster Fire was trying to do his photo shoot. Remember this? Holding the Bible outside of the St. John Episcopal Church. She testified, and this is in quotes, "I've been shocked to see how many journalists have been attacked, beaten, and detained for reporting. We are Australia, the closest ally, considered the closest ally of the U.S., who is considered to be the world's greatest democracy. Clubbed with a truncheon, shot with rubber bullets. Oh, and she was tear gassed too. And then the guy, Tim Myers, I mean, it just gets worse and worse. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description to this article that I stumbled upon. I was just blown away, absolutely blown away. Because honestly, I don't remember any of this except for the photo shoot. I remember that, but I don't think I kept up with this stuff back then. I mean, this was just like a week after George Floyd was red rummed, and I think we were also, at least I was so caught up in that I couldn't really focus on anything else. I was so disgusted. So I interrupted myself when I was trying to tell you guys that Tim Myers, the cameraman, was hit with a riot shield when he was punched in his face. And so I wrote E is the new X. Oh, for X-Files. Remember X-Files? Now we have the E-Files. That's what I meant when I wrote E is the new X. Dang. I got to describe my thought process more thoroughly when I'm this under the weather. And last night, man, I was having my allergies really bad too. I'd forgotten to take my allergy medicine. But I have all my meds on board right now. And how much more time do I have? Just a couple of minutes. Remember last night, if you were here, which some of you were, talking about Kimberly Guifoyle. Don't know if I'm saying her last name right. The ex-wife of Gavin Newsom, who is currently married to a second wife. Kimberly was married twice, divorced twice, and then engaged to Trumpster Fire Jr. for roughly 3 or 4 years. But she had known the family for like 15 years. Basically, is just like a year after her divorce with Newsom, which I think they got divorced in about 2006, roughly. And I think they got married in about 2001. I think they were married for 5 years. I could be off a year or two there. But Kimberly probably has some dirt on her ex-husband. And I'm thinking that she probably shared that information with Don Jr., that Don Sr. might be blackmailing. Blackmailing is the big thing. That's what these people do. Donnie might be blackmailing Newsom. It's just a theory. It's just an idea in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly. Possibly some blackmailing going on. And yeah, I better wrap it up here. Pretty crazy stuff, huh? But yeah, I need to get to that appointment. I don't want to be running late. I hate running late. It's lovely to see you guys. And yeah, I'm just on for 20 minutes. That's a very short live. Thank you so much for being here. And I don't know if I'll be able to go on live again later tonight. I'm sure I will want to, but if I don't, I certainly will be going on at some point live tomorrow because honestly, I need it. It helps me keep my bearings. So it helps me stay focused and stay positive because all this crap gets so overwhelming. It can be very depressing. And like I have said again and again, I feel the need to stay current and updated with all the crap as it's happening. And at the same time, I feel like it's toxic and I need to take care of myself. So that's why I do a lot of comedy and jewelry and all the pretty colors and the lights and puppy dogs. But I'm going to go see the doctor. Hopefully she'll have some good advice for me and good relief, and it might be moving through me. I don't know if it's one of those things like maybe it's some kind of bug, and so maybe it is moving through me because I kind of feel like it is. I kind of feel like I might be at the tail end of it. Fingers crossed. Love and light. Have a really good evening. Thanks again, and drink your water, eat your protein, eat your veggies, and just being yourself is the best thing that any of us can do for ourselves or for others or for the world, in my humble opinion. Thanks again. All right, and hello.